You speak the truth, you die. You lie, you die. I have told you to speak the truth and die.
Well, they are reported by your regular, sometimes without the backstory, which is the pure and undiluted analysis.
This missing spice is served on Issues and Views every weekday from 8:30 a.m. on Enyimba 94.3 FM. Abba, join
us as we dissect and assemble the big stories for the day from all angles.
Issues and Views
every weekday on Enyimba 94.3 FM. Abba from 8:30 a.m. to 10 a.m.
Issues and Views,
bringing you the stories from all sides.
Today is the day we've been anticipating, especially in the world of sports. Of course, talking about Nigeria Super Eagles facing the Bafana of South Africa. But then we will talk about that. It is part of our lineup today on the show. But before we get to that, we will definitely run through those stories that we have for you. It's another edition of Issues and Views right here on Enyimba 94.3 FM. Of course, it is your news and sports radio station right here in the city of Aba. One of the stations belonging to Enyimba TV and Radio Limited. Of course, we've got our sister stations. The one for entertainment is there. The one for religion and love is there. As this month is the month of love, I suppose. Of course, it's February, so you should also pay attention to Rose FM with the goodies that they've got for you. The one for entertainment is Legend. But this is Enyimba, the mother of them. 94.3 Abba. We are more than a radio. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. We're streaming on our YouTube page. I must tell you that Enyimba TV on YouTube, and I've got a good news. Our live stream on YouTube, on Facebook, will be back from tomorrow. So
hallelujah.
Yes, we finally have a solution to it. So from tomorrow you will be able to watch us live on Facebook. But before we do that, you can join the conversation on YouTube and watch what is happening in the studio. All right, thank you so much for joining us. My name is Michael Oni,
and I am Mary Ejirika.
We've got wonderful topics for you. First, good news coming from Abia State. Remember the Deputy Vice Chancellor of Abia State University that was abducted? Well, we can categorically tell you that he has regained his freedom. He spent 11 days in the kidnapper's den, Professor Godwin Emezue. So it's a good news. Not every time we come with a story of a kidnapping, at the end of the day, we won't give you the follow-up to the story. So it's a good one. He was released last night by his abductors. And a source close to the professor's family told newsmen that the kidnappers had earlier demanded a ransom of 35 million naira. I know you're waiting for it if ransom was paid, but the source didn't say anything about ransom payments. But it's a developing story, and we will definitely bring you up to speed on that. The professor is currently receiving medical attention in an undisclosed hospital due to torture. And anyway, I know the hospital.
And trauma as well.
I know the hospital. I won't tell you, Mary, that you will not... don't mind me. Well, let's look at these topics that we have for you this morning. We're so heavy on Abia State. Looking at the lineup today, the State Executive Council meeting, we have policy decisions taking the front line this morning. Of course, we turn our attention to Aba in any of those sittings, and we understand that the government is setting up a single multi-purpose task force. So we won't have a multiple task force, this one collecting for water, the other one for sanitation. There will be a single multi-purpose task force to streamline revenue collection processes. We're going to look at that. It is part of the report put together by Kingsley Chibike, our Umuahia correspondent. And good news, Maazi calls in from 𝗚𝗢𝗩𝗘𝗦 market every day to talk about the internal road. I can categorically tell you that Abia State government is set to rehabilitate Umule, Bakassi, and 𝗚𝗢𝗩𝗘𝗦 roads, all in Aba. Good news, right? Great. So it's also part of that report. So pay attention to that report. But we'll share that with you any moment from now. Then we spoke about the market that got burnt. Some shops rather were got burnt in a
particular
market yesterday. We touched it briefly, and coincidentally, Governor Alex Oti visited the market, and right there, he promised to retrofit and remodel the market into modern market. It's going to touch it to rebuild the market into modern market, a Zuku market in Aba. And there, he also made clarification on this alleged 1.5 billion naira for 2 Hilux vehicles in the budget. If you're very conversant with social media, it's been generating a lot of reactions. It started on Sahara Reporters. Sahara Reporters took the news and said Abia State government is buying 2 Hilux vehicles. That's the pickup van for 1.5 billion. So he made clarification to that. He said it's actually 150 million naira, not 1.5 billion. So he says it was a software error. We also captured his voice. It was a journalist who asked that question inside the Zugu market yesterday when he paid a visit to the market. Then there was a protest yesterday, very chaotic protest, destruction of properties at Michael Opara University in Umudike. Umudike is in 𝗓𝗏𝗏 local government in Umuahia area. So that's the only federal university that we have in Abia State. The student protested. They said they even chased the VC out of the university at some point yesterday. Videos trending on social media. You could see bonfires. The part of the microfinance bank in the school, Michael Opara University Microfinance Bank, was touched yesterday. So we're going to look at that. In fact, we will talk to our correspondent, Kingsley Chibike, who immediately swung into action. That's what he's being paid to do anyway. So I went to Michael Opara University, and he will give us a rundown of what went down yesterday.
Yes.
And of course, our president is back. Point one is now in the country. He came back. I thought his jet touched down around 8:50 p.m. yesterday, and there was a meeting where food shortage was discussed. In fact, he directed that there should be intervention to check the food shortage in Nigeria. Then those in charge of the Tinubu's economic team, were in the House of Reps yesterday. The CBN governor, Minister of Finance, the budget minister, they appeared before the House of Reps. We are going to look at what they said about the state of the economy in the country. And we understand that the Senate will grill service chiefs today over insecurity. And of course, they are also going to summon the economic team. Then APC is accusing opposition of instigating mass protest. You know, yesterday we spoke about the mass protest in Niger State. We didn't talk about that of Kano. I don't know how that one slipped through. But APC is accusing opposition of instigating the mass protest in the country to undermine Tinubu's government. And like I mentioned, the blackout we're experiencing in Aba is not only in Aba because of gas constraints. We're also experiencing the same in other electricity distribution company. And in neighboring Port Harcourt, Rivers State to be precise, there was a protest where women protested the blackout. And what caught our attention was what was some of the things they wrote on their placards. They said, "Our husbands don't touch us at night because of blackout." And
because of heat.
Because of heat.
This is very funny.
So why is it funny? It's you talk about what is paining you.
Doesn't sound funny to you?
It is not funny. I think I should win an award for sharing this story with a straight face. It's not funny. Things are not going on well in the other room, and they decided to protest. Hey, you guys, give us light, you know. Anyways, we'll be talking to Precious Njoku, Enyimba FM in-house sports analyst at Super Eagles will face South Africa in the Africa Cup of Nations. So this lineup. We will move very fast because we need to touch all the stories today on the show. So welcome on board. Thank you so much for joining us. We're streaming on our YouTube page, Enyimba TV. Join the conversation there and let's talk. All right, let's begin the conversation this morning. As usual, we'll begin from Abia State. We told you about the revenue collection. You know, touting has been a very big problem in Abia State, especially Aba, which has affected the aesthetics of Aba, because the first thing you come across in Aba, you see young men trying to chase down vehicles just to collect money for the government. It gets to the government, doesn't get to the government. That's a story for another day. But Abia State government is saying it has set up a single multi-purpose task force. It was part of the outcome of the State Executive Council meeting in 𝗓𝗎𝗓. It was disclosed by the State Commissioner for Information and Culture, Prince 𝗓𝗢𝗡𝗪, who explained that the decision to set up this new task force was informed by the need to stop the nefarious activities of touts and to restore sanity in the system. And he said that government has disbanded the multiple task force responsible for revenue collection because of concerns about touts parading as revenue collection officials. Another angle to this story is the fact that government also promised to rehabilitate 𝗬𝗢𝗡𝗪𝗏 and 𝗬𝗦𝗡𝗪𝗏 roads, all in Aba. So take a listen to the report as filed in by Kingsley Chibike.
The state government has outlawed multiple task forces in the state. Government will soon make public details of a new single multi-purpose outfit.
The Commissioner for Information and Culture, Prince 𝗓𝗢𝗡𝗪, while briefing journalists at the Government House, said that the Governor, Dr. Alex Otti, will on Wednesday, the 7th of February, flag off the rehabilitation of the 𝗬𝗢𝗡𝗪 road.
The road is divided into 3 sections, and each of the sections will be handled by a different contractor. Crane will handle section 1 of the road, which comprises the 𝗬𝗢𝗡𝗪 stretch. Ferrotex will handle the stretch from 𝗬𝗢𝗡𝗪 to somewhere Accra Junction. CCECC will handle that stretch. That's the one that goes to 𝗦𝗧𝗥𝗑𝗧.
Prince Kanu stated that the government is embarking on maintenance work on 22 roads scattered all over the state between Aba, 𝗬𝗎𝗓, and other parts of Abia State.
The government is embarking on maintenance works on 22 roads scattered all over the state between Aba, 𝗬𝗎𝗓, and other parts of Abia State. Let me also inform you that 3 new roads have been procured in Aba. They are 𝗬𝗦𝗡𝗧 Street, 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 Street, and 𝗬𝗦𝗡𝗪𝗏. They are all situated in area. Rehabilitation of those 3 roads underscores the importance that government attaches to developing market infrastructure in the state, particularly in the area.
The special advisor to the governor on media and publicity, Ferdinand Ikoma, said that the government has plans to purchase vehicles to the tune of 13 billion naira. These vehicles, they said, will be purchased for the purpose of running the government and will be used in different capacities.
The government has plans to purchase vehicles. The impression the publication by Sahara reporters tried to give was that the governor was buying cars for himself, and that was what I just corrected. And the government is an institution. You have ministries, departments, and agencies, and you are all witnesses to what happened here when we came, or you were witnesses to what happened here when we came. The vehicles meant for the operation of government were carted away, bought by the government, purchased for the government for other services that need to be rendered, including security. So those are how you arrive at the amount that was put at the 13 billion.
Speaking on the issue of touting in the state, the Commissioner for Budget and Planning, Mr. Kingsley Anosike, said that the state government has decided to harmonize the revenue process in such a way that those who are authorized to collect these taxes will easily be identified from their uniforms.
Anyways, time will not permit us to run that report till the end. Many thanks to Kingsley Chibike for filing in that report. So that's actually what went down during this week's State Executive Council meeting presided over by the governor in 𝗬𝗎𝗓.
Well, I have to say that it's a welcome development, but I still have a little bit of an issue with it because when the present administration came in, the ban touting, and then it started all over. And since then, we've had different people, especially keke riders, women in the markets protesting over how they are being harassed by the revenue collectors and all that. So I think another problem that some of them have also voiced is the very fact that they are still using the same people, and these same people seem not to be trained on how to go about, collecting these revenues and all that. So, in bringing it together, I hope that they are going to use maybe different set of people, but if they are going to use the same face that have been doing the work that the people are complaining about, I hope that they will be trained on how to go about it. There is no need harassing anybody. There's no need manhandling people in your work, trying to collect revenue and all that. Just like yesterday, there was a story about the government clamping down on loan apps. They don't have anything against them, but the way they go about collecting the debt from people is what the government is clamping down on. So it's a welcome development, but I think they should also be trained at the end of the day if you're going to use the same people, because I can bet you that at the end of the day, we might still have trickles of protests and complaints coming from people. So it's very important that government also look in that direction of training these people on how to handle revenue collection.
Let me first commend the present administration in Abia State for holding the State Executive Council meeting regularly. The previous administration didn't do this, although they held State Executive Council meetings, but it wasn't as regular as this. Sometimes you have to wait 6 weeks, 7 weeks before you have another meeting during the Pazzo administration. So I must commend this administration for that. And the second thing that caught my attention is that long stretch of road that will be touched by this administration, the 𝗬𝗢𝗡𝗧 down to 𝗬𝗢𝗡𝗧. It's a big project. 3 contractors will be handling it. It is that the road is that long, 62.5 kilometer stretch. If you're very conversant with Abia North, you will know that road is the major road that will connect you from Abia Central to Abia North, 𝗬𝗢𝗡𝗧 to 𝗧𝗜𝗏𝗏𝗧 to Abriba to 𝗬𝗢𝗡𝗏, going through Akara Junction. That road is bad. The last time we drove along that road was and we went for an occasion right from this office that went to bury Momo's father. We drove along that road. That road is in a terrible state, and you could see the quality of the work done the last time the road was worked on, and it was reconstructed. I think it was during I can't remember the name of the administration that I worked on it, and that road stayed over 30 years. But right now, it's nothing to write home about. I must say it is commendable. Then the taxation thing. I understand that the Board of Internal Revenue has contracted collection of some of these taxes to private companies. And these private companies have their own tax collectors, have their own revenue collectors. Will they be harmonized with that of the government? Because what the government is saying is that we are going to have a single collection agent, a single collection agent, that these guys will not we won't have multiple ones. The ones that we collect for sanitation, another one we collect. Yeah. No, they will just be one, and maybe they will have departments and we have uniform. You'll be able to identify them. But what will happen to those private revenue collectors that have been contracted to private companies? That's a big question. I'm still finding answers to. I hope in the coming days the method of application will be made known to journalists and also the general public on how this will be achieved. So what else was said? So that's basically what I'm able to understand and derive from the State Executive Council meeting for this week. But let's talk about the governor's visit to Eziku Market yesterday, where Dr. Alex Otti, the governor, said it will be remodeled, retrofitted to a status befitting a modern market, when he paid an on-the-spot assessment visit to the market to ascertain the extent of damage caused by the fire outbreak in the market. And the governor also said his administration actually budgeted 150 million naira for 2 Toyota Hilux vehicles, saying that the 1.5 billion naira initially stated in that report released by Sahara reporters was an error from the software. Take a listen to him.
We are going to come back here again, check the integrity of these buildings. Some of them look very, very old, and where they need to be pull down, we'll pull them down and rebuild them. Where they need retrofitting, we retrofit them, because this is where people operate from. This is their daily livelihood, so we can't ignore them. That anything that comes from government must be correct. So I believe that is an error, an error of the head and not of the brain, and it has been corrected. But going forward, we think that first of all, I must thank the people who pointed it out. It means that people are vigilant, people are checking.
Mary.
Well, first of all, the governor has a lot on his plate right now. Let me start with the roads. He has mentioned different roads that his government is going to be working on, especially in Aba. And I just wanted to know that Aba people are going to hold him to his words, to see to it that he keeps his word. So he has a whole lot on his plate. And then secondly, this issue of an error in the software. I'm wondering how the House actually missed this, because I think they are the ones who should have even raised up the issue of this in the House when the budget was presented to them. That's where the mistake they would have asked questions. That's number one. And then number two, I also think that I don't know how the budget is being typed, and I don't know if there is someone that has to peruse it, go through it, make sure that everything is in order before it's being submitted. Because this kind of thing, sometimes, if not that the governor came out to maybe clarify on it, sometimes it can actually somehow, dent your image and that of your government. People can spin it in different ways and all that. So I think it's very important that when such things are being done, you need to be meticulous about it. Someone needs to go through it and make sure, check, cross the T's and dot the I's, make sure that we're not having any loopholes, so that you don't have to come out and start explaining all over, oh, it wasn't our fault, oh, it was the fault, but you were the one that actually printed it and then presented it to the House. So two mistakes coming from the executive and another one from the legislature, because I was thinking that this mistake would have been spotted when it was presented to the House. But moving forward, I think what the government needs to do is make sure that everything is covered and look through it a second time or a third time, make sure that we don't have such mistake, because when things like this happen, the public can spin it and it can go different ways, and even the opposition can actually use it to score a card and all that. So you have to be meticulous.
Okay, let me begin with you didn't say anything about Ezekiel Market. I was leaving that for you because you said your mom once had a shop.
No, they're not Ezekiel Market.
But you're used to Ezekiel Market, and you should know how the market looks like, the way the shops are built close to themselves, some buildings there that are meant for just is it bungalow, or is it not meant for a story building? People build on it and the likes. And
I'm not really conversant with Ezekiel, but I'm very conversant with Ahiohoro. That's the place I grew up.
I'm describing this. I'm giving a picture based on the picture, based on what I saw on socials during that market, during that fire incident, and also the visit. Some places it's difficult for fire trucks to get to those places. So especially if there is any fire outbreak. So it is important that it is retrofitted. And what is it?
I'm trying to, I'm taking my mind.
I gave you the opportunity to.
No, hold on. It's
now.
Because you said fire trucks won't be able to get into the market. I actually think is well open for vehicular movement more than Ahiohoro. I'm picturing it. I've been to the market severally, even though it's not my terrain, but I think it has routes where, because you have vehicles.
My analysis based on the pictures. I'm not used to the market, so okay. I'm expecting you to help me.
No, he has vehicular movement. Trucks coming to the market to offload, even tricycle. When you want to buy something, like last time I did a program and let's go buy drinks and all that, I went with tricycle.
What did you notice in the buildings there? Those shops, are they dilapidated? Are they still strong enough to hold?
Not all of them. Not all of them. Some of them are still in good, but some of them needs work. But I think when it comes to vehicular movement, it's not like Ahiohoro. There is actually vehicular movement in that market.
But in all, there is need for the remodeling of most of our markets. And government needs to pay attention to this remodeling so that it will not lead to the crisis that we have presently in our area international market, when the remodeling of that market started from a particular line, and it was contracted to a company, MOU was signed, but those that are displaced due to the remodeling of the market and the pulling down of some of the old stores there, are complaining that they are not being considered, they are not placed as a priority according to the agreement the previous administration had
with them.
So remodeling is important. Some of those stores have been there for years and they need to be touched. God forbid we have a case of a building collapse. We've had one in one of the markets, I can't remember, in one of the markets right here in Aba, because the building was not meant to carry another one on it. The next thing
from the foundation,
the next thing they built another one because we want to maximize space, and the building failed and collapsed. So remodeling is important, but if government is going to remodel the market, they should also ensure that the price, the sacrifice that the traders will pay will not take so much toll on their lives, especially the economy, especially their pocket. That is also very important, so that they will expedite action. Remodeling, give it a particular timeline, and you're done with the remodeling and retrofitting. It's a good one, I must say. Modern markets in developed countries, even in some states of the Federation, they have basic infrastructures like fire station, like police station. Even banks are situated inside markets, but we do not have that case right here in Aba. And Aba is like a market town, a market city where you have different clusters of markets, but they've been existing for donkey years. So such plans were not put in place, which actually made it due to development and of course civilization. We've been talking about retrofitting and remodeling, which the governor also mentioned, but it should not affect the traders that much, even if it is going to be done. Anyways, we take a break. When we return, we're going to talk about what happened in Michael Okpara University yesterday that led to the shutting down of the institution indefinitely. Student protesting, some buildings were torched, and this is actually one of the stories that we have for you. The president is back, and also the protests in Port Harcourt when women protested epileptic power supply, saying their husbands don't touch them at night because of heat. That's actually one of the stories that we will also share with you when we return. Stay tuned.
Iyimba FM 94.3 Aba.
Christ for All Nations CFAN, in conjunction with all Christian churches in Aba and Umuahia, announces Great Gospel Crusade
with evangelist Daniel Kolenda, the successor of evangelist Reinhard Bonnke.
Jesus Christ is Lord, to the glory of God the Father. Say amen.
Date Wednesday, 21st February to Sunday, 25th February 2024. Venue Ngwa High School, Osisioma for Aba Region 1.
And Meteorological Complex opposite Obiungo Town Planning Authority along Umukaleka Road from Ubikabe Junction for Region 3, all happening same time, 4 p.m.
Also on 29th February to 3rd March 2024 by 4 p.m. at two different venues. One at Akwara Square, Umuahia for Region 4.
National High School along Porakot Road, Ugunabo for Region 2.
Featuring healings, miracles, deliverance, God's word.
The blind will see, the lame will work, businesses will flourish again.
Come, listen, and receive the blessings of God.
Jesus is Lord.
𝗓𝗓 Institute of Agribusiness and Entrepreneurship, located at Umugoji Amiyi Village, Isialokpu Autonomous Community, Osisiomangwa Local Government Area of Abia State, is calling for applications in the following fields: registrar, provost, lecturers, principal, teachers, counselors, head teacher. To apply, kindly visit our website at www.nnauda.gov.ng. Announcer, Management.
Good day, the monitor, panel of judges, accurate timekeeper.
With the following points. Therefore, it is quite logical that these public servants are better.
Good day, Mr. Moderator, panel of judges, accurate timekeeper.
The second edition of our radio school debate, tagged On the Contrary, is back. Join us as students take the mic, diving into discussions that will ignite your curiosity and challenge your perspective.
We have our winner for the maiden edition of On the Contrary. Congratulations.
For the second edition, submission of entries is ongoing and will end on Monday, 11th of March, 2024. Schools and students should visit www.𝗓𝗓𝗑𝗓/apply. For sponsorship, partnership, or inquiry, call 0810-716-4511. On the Contrary is brought to you by 𝗓𝗓𝗏 TV and Radio Limited, the operator of 𝗓𝗓𝗏 94.3 FM, Legend 98.3 FM, and Rose 101.9 FM. And now, issues and views.
Well, thank you so much for staying tuned. Do appreciate you for joining us Wednesday edition of the program Issues and Views right here on 𝗓𝗓𝗏 94.3 FM. We're streaming on our YouTube page, youtube.com/𝗓𝗓𝗏 TV. Or better still, you search for 𝗓𝗓𝗏 TV on the YouTube page, so you can join the conversation there. Like I mentioned at the start of the show, from tomorrow you will be able to follow us on Facebook again, like we usually do. All right. And the topics have been listed there for you on the Facebook page. Drop your comments there. WhatsApp is down today. But don't drop your comments on the Facebook page, and we will definitely run through those comments of yours. Now, let's talk about what happened in the only federal university we have in Abia State yesterday, Michael Okpara University of Agriculture, Umudike. That's Tata's alma mater, the Umudike product.
Ndoma.
You say?
Oma.
And Oma. Oh, okay. And Oma. It was protest yesterday. The students protested over increase in their school fees. They paralyzed academic activities in their large numbers, demanding reversal of increase. It's also affected the examination in the school. Some students spoke to our correspondent, Kingsley Chibike. Kingsley will also talk to us. At some point, they even chased away the VC. When the VC came in, the VC said, hey, you cannot write your exam if your fees obligations have not been met for the first semester examinations. But these guys are complaining that the fees are too much. You increase it from 20,000 to 60,000, then later to over 100,000, despite the economic hardship that is biting so hard.
Look at 100 level school fees that was before. When I was in 100 level first semester, when I got admission, we paid 50 something thousand. But now students are paying 100 and something thousand, close to 150 for only 100 level. And before you pay for that money, you pay for hostel fee. And he made it compulsory. Before bypass used to come out, now he didn't put any bypass. At least for students to be able to pay their school fees, I write exam. And so many of us, our parents are really suffering protests in school. They should stop this thing. This man is really suffering us. And the student union government are not doing anything about it. They're just there looking at them as if Metiri Hanime. But
okay, there's been an issue since yesterday when they started writing exam. Say if you do biometrics, like me, I did my biometrics before paying my school fees. But I said that it's not showing. That if you did biometrics before paying your school fees, it's not showing. Even though you showed them your school fees, this is just toy. It's not fair. Many people did not write exams yesterday. Imagine say you just came inside exam hall, told people's paper. It's not fair now. It's after paying 114.
Sometime last year, dollar was below 1,000 naira. You know, so today a dollar is 1,500 something naira. Can you see why the increment in school fees? Have you seen the justification for the increment in school fees? For now, management bought diesel, a liter of diesel last year. It's not what they are buying diesel this year. So have you seen the justification? The problem is that the students are looking at it from one angle instead of looking at it holistically. And for them to appreciate the fact that this problem is not caused by management, but by the federal government.
All right, there you have it. We also spoke to the spokesperson of the Abia State Police Force yesterday because there were reports of shots fired by the police to disperse their crowd, the crowd of protesters. Of course, talking about the student. Maureen Chinaka, the ASP, joined us yesterday on the news. And anyways, Kingsley Chibike is joining us live from Umuahia this morning, our Umuahia correspondent. Kingsley, good morning to you. Glad to have you join us.
Okay, good morning, Michael.
Yes, indeed. You're live on Enyimba FM. So, give us a rundown of what happened. What did you notice when you got to the school yesterday to cover that protest?
All right, thank you very much. When I got to the school yesterday, a lot of things have gone wrong. There was a very heavy protest, which is
you have a noisy background. You have a noisy background.
Because I'm on transit.
Okay, we have to call you back because we can't have a smooth conversation. Can you just find a way to eliminate the noisy background so that we talk to you? All right, we will revisit the story. The spokesperson of the Abia State Police Command, Maureen Chinaka, also spoke to us and said the officers of the command were deployed to ensure that the protest does not degenerate into violence. Let's take a listen to what she told us.
We were able to send our men. Our men was detailed by the Commissioner of Police, and they have gone there, cleared the road, and ensure they are putting effort to ensure the safety of all and sundry. And now the situation is calm. Okay. So our men, the command is aware, the detailed officers there who went there and calmed the situation. At the moment, that is what I can relate to the public.
There you have it.
Well, I don't know, until maybe we speak to Kingsley and possibly have an idea of what exactly happened. But I think from the protest, what some of the students said, I have two questions I would have loved to ask if Kingsley was here with us. You know,
ask him when he joins us.
Yes, I wanted to know if before now they used to allow them write their exams even without them paying their school fees, because there are schools who do that, you know, where you are allowed to write your exams and all that. Probably they wait for you when you are done, when it's time for you to get your result or something like that. Because I know back in my own school, when I was in school, what they usually do is when school resumes, they give you 2 weeks to pay your school fees. After 2 weeks, they give you another extra 2 weeks. That extra 2 weeks is with an increment in the school fees now because you delayed the first 2 weeks. Then after that 2 weeks, if you know you are not going to be able to pay, they advise you to defer that semester, because that's it. There is nothing like chasing you out during exam. Once you don't pay, so it's usually 1 month, 2 weeks to pay, 2 weeks for extra money, you know, for you to pay. If you're not able, just and you didn't defer, you are no longer a student of UNIO. So I don't know how the
we will revisit this story when we finally pull through when we finally connect with the Kingsley. But I just want to say something. The truth is, subsidy has been removed on education. MUAU is not the only university that is experiencing hike in their fees. When I was in the Federal University, that's University of Ilorin, the highest I paid as school fees was around 22,000 in the University of Ilorin. It got to as low as 8,000 at some point. The hostel fee was around 11,000 for a session. So it was that cheap, and it cuts across all federal universities. But right now, what you have as school fees in the same university is getting close to 100,000 naira. And it is the same thing with other universities. MUAU is an example. They are paying over 100,000 for a student that entered with a fee of as high as 30-something thousand. Now he's paying 100,000. Where do you expect him to get the money from? For people that are from average family in Nigeria. The truth is, the president has removed subsidy on education, and that's the reason this administration brought about loans, the student loans. The Minister of Education, Professor Tahir Mamman, even announced it and said that the Tinubu administration will grant full autonomy to federal government-owned universities, which means that autonomy would allow universities to source funding through various means to enable them to meet their financial obligations, meaning no more money from the federal government. Do you know that the money given to those universities, the budgetary allocation, 95% of it is being used to pay salaries? At this rate, they have just a little less than 5% for overheads, leaving the federal universities to struggle to fund their day-to-day costs. The way they get money to do other things is the TED fund. That's why in many universities you see TED fund assisted projects.
Yes.
TED fund, where they get the main financial flow, where they get available for this capital project. TED fund is that money is serviced from 2% education tax paid from profit of companies registered in Nigeria. That's where they now dip money from. They dip their hands into to get structures and the likes. It tells you so much is happening in the education sector, and that is why Sudan said they are against federal government opting out of funding federal universities. Is already happening. The student loan has not is yet to be implemented, and now there is hike. So this is not going to be the solution. It is going to continue. You won't blame Professor Iwe, the Vice Chancellor of MUAU, because he has salaries to pay.
Would you blame the students for protesting?
But the protest went the other way.
Yeah,
they started
I
bringing down buildings.
Yes,
I also blame, just a moment, I also blame the police force that used live ammunition to disperse crowd.
Yeah.
God forbid a bullet touches a student yesterday. We will not be doing this type of analysis.
True.
So we should also learn, our security operatives should also learn to use minimal force to disperse crowd. In developed countries, they use water cannon. They use water with high force, high pressure rather, to disperse crowd. But here we use live bullet, AK-47, pa, 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 pa. Because that's the only thing that put fear in the mind of Nigerians.
Do you know that women around selling things even left their wares and ran away when they heard the shotgun? You know, and when I heard the story, I was like, why would you use live ammunition to disperse students? I can understand that it was violent. You know, we shouldn't have been so. But then to use live ammunition to, I mean, come on, these are youths you are dealing with.
President Bola Tinubu is back in the country. And there was a meeting yesterday after his arrival, although he didn't attend the meeting. The meeting was before he landed, where the Minister of Information had a meeting with the Presidential Committee on Emergency Food Intervention. That's the committee. You know, we have food shortage, food crisis in the country, except it's not touching you. I understand a bag of local rice now is 65,000 naira. And I don't know how much is the foreign rice. It should be above 70,000 naira. Although
if you even say
it is illegal in Nigeria.
That's if you even say, because I'm not even sure.
You will answer the question where you got it
I'm not
from.
Sure we have any foreign. All those things
but
are
I must commend those that are in charge of producing local rice, because they've really done a good job by eliminating stone from it. We now have stoneless local rice, stone-free, local rice in Nigeria. Back in the day, the characteristics of a local rice in Nigeria is stone. The one that has stone will be cheaper than the foreign polished rice. So the meeting held yesterday, Mr. Idris said the government is concerned about what Nigerians are going through and is taking some steps to ensure that they get some relief. That's the Minister of Information. Let's take a listen to what he said.
Government will not fold its arms and see the way Nigerians are suffering in terms of the availability of these food items. Now, some of these will involve unlocking the foods that are available in most of the storage facilities around the country. You know that the Federal Ministry of Agriculture has some food reserve that is going to be made available to Nigerians. Government is also talking to major millers and major commodity traders.
There you have it.
Someone should really clear me, because I don't really think the issue we are having is shortage. The issue we are having is people's ability to purchase, the power to purchase.
There is also shortage,
No, I don't really think so.
Okay.
The food is there.
The food
but
is not
you
there.
don't. I'm telling you, Michael, is shortage. Like one of the callers that called us yesterday said, bringing yam from the north down to the east, you pay a truck, you pay 1 million, and then transportation alone will cost you like 3 million. So all in all, you spend 4 million naira bringing in a truckload of yam. How much do you think the person is going to sell it? The protest is high cost of living. Maybe we might have trickles of scarcity of food, but I think the major issue we are having is purchasing power, not really not having the food. But when you go to market and you see something you want to buy, you don't have the wherewithal to buy. You don't have purchasing power. You don't have the money. Like the issue of rice now. Go to market, you will see rice, but do you have this? Is something thousand to buy a bag of rice?
Do you know
No,
why?
you don't have.
Do you know why rice is that expensive right now? The purchasing power is there. The factor, the problem of having the purchasing power too is also there. No doubt about it. But if we have enough food, the price will not be this high in the country. The rice that we are eating is local rice in Nigeria. Farmers that are producing it have not been able to produce what Nigeria consumes. That is why you have high price in the in rice. That is why you have the bag getting to as much as 60-something thousand naira. That is the problem.
Do you also know
before the price of rice went up before dollar started going up? We had enough rice. We had surplus rice before the ban on importation of foreign rice. The local rice that people now enjoy was very cheap, very, very cheap, because it was surplus for those that consume it. So it's a matter of force between demand and supply. When you have limited resources, that resources will become expensive for the people. That is the same thing with other food commodities. Don't forget, insecurity is also ravaging the North Central, which is also affecting this particular food. We don't produce enough to eat in this country. That's just the fact. And the thing is, instead of us to tackle these issues head on, we try to find quick fixes, easy fixes. You heard the minister there. He said, we store grains, we store something. They are going to. Those are quick fixes. It will not put an end to this. The emergency declaration that the president declared emergency on the food and the likes. Part of the plans were putting National Security Council in charge of matters relating to food security and the likes, providing fertilizer, grains to farmers and households. I reminded the presidency yesterday which of those plans have been fulfilled, especially the area of creating land banks that will be used to cultivate hectares of grains in the country. If you want to find a solution to this problem, we need to learn from developing countries. One is India. In the 50s and 60s, India also experienced food shortages like this, so severe that they started calling India begging bowl nation. That was what they started calling India then. But they decided to face the problem head on, making India food self-sufficiency top of its economy policy and foreign policy. Today, India has jettisoned that image, becoming a major exporter of food. How did they do it? They decided to pay attention into agriculture. The way to solve food crisis in Nigeria is through sound economic policies that will make agric attractive for youths. Well, institutional reforms provide boosts input, lower prices to consumer. You get it when you boost the input and get these farmers what they need. Make agric attractive for youths.
I understand what you're saying, but I still feel that the purchasing power is still a huge issue. For instance,
I'm not disputing that.
What the minister said, even if you open the stores and bring out those produce and bring them into the market, people will still not have the purchasing power to buy those things. Do you know that in business, sometimes logistics even eats more than the produce itself you want to buy? For instance, if you're into rice business, bringing in a bag of rice from whichever state you are bringing it in, that's how they calculate it. They calculate it by a bag of rice. That's how you pay logistics. So if you are bringing in like 50 bags of rice, they will have to calculate each bag for you, how much you are going to pay, and then you pay that. By the time it gets to where he wants you, maybe it gets to the park or whatever, you have to still take it to your shop. All these things, you're going to put it into cognizance when you want to put a price tag on how much you are going to sell the rice. At the end of the day,
I wouldn't want to go into argument with you this morning, but
no, it's not argument. It's not argument.
Let me point out something. The logistics you are talking about. Why is it that a particular geopolitical zone is concentrating on production of food? That is where the logistics comes in. But if we pay attention to agriculture, you won't spend so much on logistics.
I think because all of us have things we are good in. Exactly. When it comes to this part, we are good in doing business.
That is the thing.
They are good.
You want to be talking about logistics if we have enough that we are producing here that will sustain us, just like other geopolitical zones. The little that you are going to get from there will not be so much. We just augment with the little deficit that we
have here.
So that's the basic fact that is there. We need to pay attention, especially the subnationals. Pay attention to agriculture. That was how we made the name Giant of Africa when palm oil was funding our economy. Not now that crude oil, although they are both oils. They are both oil rather. When crude oil is now funding our economy, and we forgot where we came from back in the day when you had granite pyramid, cocoa pyramid, and the likes.
But you know that
we had enough to eat.
But you know that the truth remains that I understand the aspect of agriculture, but
it's not an argument. Purchasing power is there, but we have food crisis in the country. Let's talk to Kingsley Chibuike this morning. Hello, good morning to you.
Good morning, Mike.
Yes,
sorry about earlier.
Yes, Kingsley, we can hear you loud and clear now. Can you run us through quickly, because of our time? Can you run us through what happened in Michael Okpara University of Agriculture yesterday?
Okay. Yesterday, there was a very large protest which turned violent. It was supposed to be peaceful, but the protest later turned violent due to the agitations of the students about the character and the manner in which the school management handled the issues of the welfare of the students as regards payment of school fees. I think exams started yesterday, and according to reports by the students, the Vice Chancellor of the institution, Professor 𝗚𝗢𝗡𝗦, came in and began to chase students out of the hall, those who are defaulted in payment of their school fees. And there's been a lot of agitation around the way and manner in which the school fees was hiked. Most students complained that they were paying about 53,000. Later it was increased to 8,000, and now the school fees is about 130,000 naira. And considering the fact that it's a federal institution, most of them are finding it difficult to pay. Some of the students said they are training themselves. Most of them don't have the support of their family as well. So most of them are struggling. And last they even pleaded to the school management to try and find a way to split the school fees, but the plea fell on the deaf ears. So hence that protest yesterday, because the Vice Chancellor himself came and started taking students out of the hall, and that got the students angry. Hence they went ahead to protest.
Yesterday. Okay, let's talk about the chaotic nature of that protest. We understand that some properties were touched by the students. Can you confirm this?
Yes, properties were touched yesterday. The admin building, glasses were destroyed yesterday. Around the school, most of the places like the FCG Secretariat and some other places, even the hostels themselves were affected by this destruction. Yes, so a lot of properties were damaged yesterday.
How were the police officers deployed to the institution able to douse the tension and disperse the crowd?
Yes, when that was going on, I think the mayor of 𝗜𝗢𝗡 𝗪𝗓 came in and addressed the people. And after that, security operatives, the police, were brought in from 𝗜𝗢𝗡 division to handle the situation. So they came into the school, shot tear gas. Another thing, most complained that they even went into as far as the female hostel, shooting from tear gas into hostels to chase students out. But the situation was brought under control with the presence of the heavily armed men of the Nigerian police force.
We understand that the university has been shut indefinitely. Can you confirm that?
Yes. Shortly after the whole scenario, the vice chancellor, when he was able to leave the environment on hot, sent out a memo requesting that every student should vacate the school premises not later than 5 p.m. yesterday. So I was in the school there until about 4 p.m. So I witnessed students packing their bags and leaving the hostels, trying to look for where to lay refuge, depending on when situations calm down.
All right. Thank you so much for talking to us this morning. The time will not permit us to continue the conversation just because we need to throw the lines open.
All right. Thank you very much.
Do appreciate you, Mary. So much happening.
Yeah, I wanted to find out if prior to the VC coming to chase students out of the exam hall, if they were given a prior information of if you don't pay, you won't be allowed to write examination. If they had the idea, because I think he just sprang that on them. They were already in the examination hall, and then he came in.
There was a notice.
If there was a notice, why did lecturer allow? Because in my school, I think things should be done accordingly. You don't even allow. There should be something to show that you have paid your fees for you to be allowed into the examination hall in the first place. This thing maybe wouldn't have happened. It would have been avoided if students who had paid were allowed. It's a different ballgame when you were not allowed from the onset than when you are seated writing your exam to be asked to leave the examination hall. So I don't know how they did it. If there was
a notice, I have a copy of the notice from the vice chancellor here that said that the directive once again: student pay charges, student register courses, student does biometric capture, student appear for exam, students biometrically verify, student pass verification, student takes exam. Supervisors and invigilators are to pick up biometric verification devices from new lecture theater close to 𝗓𝗢𝗘𝗦 Jonathan student hostel before checking in students for biometric verification. But some persons were not allowed to take the exam because they've not paid, and that was where the protest started. Even those that paid joined in solidarity with their colleagues that had not paid, and they are complaining that the money is too much, over 100,000 naira as school fees. Well, let's throw the lines open and have your thoughts this morning. And what do you make of the stories that we've lined up for you this morning? 0809 666 0943 or 0708 000 0918. Hello, good morning to you.
Good morning, Ben. How are you? I'm Mary.
My name is Michael.
I'm sorry, Michael.
All right, good morning.
I'm 𝗧𝗜𝗡𝗦 calling from Doke.
All right.
You see, Michael, this is one of the things that I keep on crying about this nation. We are talking about subsidy, implementing subsidy, removal of subsidy. And we are at the same time talking about the removal of government subvention to universities. It appears that this government, I don't know, it appears that every time about this government is to suffer people. So, small time they talk about loan. And that loan, if you check, I don't know how many people that can get, that can get access to that loan. And why are you giving loan? I think the answer to this is to reduce the school. Government should give subvention to the university, increase the budget of education, and the school fees will come down, and then everybody can struggle to pay. There's no point saying that universities are not autonomous. If you go by that, I mean, education becomes only for the rich now.
Right.
This government is not helping matters at all, as long as I'm concerned. Thank you very much.
Thank you for sharing your thoughts with us. Run your comments through with us on Facebook. We're not taking WhatsApp messages today. You can also drop your comment on the YouTube page and on Enyimba TV. Let's see if this will pull through. Hello, good morning to you.
Good morning. My name is 𝗓𝗢𝗔𝗓. I'm calling from Odingwa.
You're welcome.
From all that discussion, the problem we are having is government. Totally on the issue of food. you people want to gotten something about the rice, the price of that local rice at the rate of 60 something thousand. We have enough rice in the country. We have enough local rice, even in the north, even in our market. What problem is cost of transportation. And even that you went to north, you buy a bag of rice in the north, in the village market in the village, at the rate of 20 something to 30,000 naira. Transportation will be 5 to 10,000 naira for each bag. When you come here, you have to add the whole thing. Both your expenses, your transportation, your feeding, everything. The rate of 60,000 they sold in the market now. Now, the school, the problem, government. How can government students should pay 100 something thousand as school fee? It's unfair. It's unfair. Let government do the thing. Let them do the efforts. Thank you.
All right. Thank you for sharing your thoughts with us. I will disagree with you if you say we have enough rice. We do not. A lot of farmers are not cultivating rice again, especially in Kebbi and other states that are known for rice cultivation due to insecurity and some other factors. And before now, we're not even cultivating enough local rice that can serve the need of Nigerians. But anyways, thank you so much for sharing your thoughts with us. Hello, good morning to you. Please move away from your radio set.
Mike, good morning.
Yes, sir. You're welcome.
I'm Mary May, my sister.
Good morning to you. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. This is the voice of Opaland.
You're welcome.
Thank you, my brother. You see, it is very, very unfortunate for the Vice Chancellor to take such a decision. Let me tell you, Michael, like Mary said, even when I was in school, nobody will disturb you for the payment of your school fees. One, before you check your results from your HOD, you must show evidence of your payment. And at the end of your program, before you do your clearance, you must pay all the necessary fees payable to the school. So I don't know why such action should be taken in a time like this, when Nigerians, many of our workers have not been paid, some names were deleted from the payroll of the government, and the children are suffering. People are sending their children to make sure they feed, and somebody is chasing away students who struggle to enter school. It's unfortunate. See how we are treating ourselves in our own country. Then you also tell that even the student loan they are talking about, it's a scam. It will never come to fruition. Wait and see what will happen. And it will be a way of government pulling more funds out of the country. Having said that, for police to move into the school with live ammunition should be condemned by all well-meaning Nigerians. What if a student was shot today? What would be this? We don't take life serious. It's unfortunate. I pray that God will give us leaders who knows what it takes to be a leader. We used to have leaders in this country. That's why we are suffering. But I know God will come to our aid one day. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you for sharing your thoughts with us. Decided to go back to the statistics of the number of the volume of rice produced in Nigeria. As of 2022, Nigeria had a production of 5.4 million metric tons, and we consumed almost 7 million metric tons, meaning we had to import the shortfall. That was 2022. In 2023, we produced 5.2 million metric tons. We consumed almost 8 million metric tons. There is a shortfall there, which is putting pressure on the price, looking at the force between supply and demand. The quantity of milled rice produced in Nigeria was estimated at 5.2 million metric tons. That was in 2023. So that's one of the factors. Another one is, water scarcity. Soil for rice cultivation should ideally be slightly wet, and this can be achieved during rainfall, by rainfall or irrigation. And in parts of Nigeria, we already have shortage of water for drinking, so people don't even use this precious resource on thirsty crop like water. Just to bring you up to speed on that. Hello, good morning to you.
Hello, good morning, Michael.
Yes, sir. You're welcome.
Thank you. Engineer Vigo is calling you from Port Harcourt.
All right.
Other mind, my own warning is no matter any protest in disguise to be avoided right now, especially the indigenous people, because we know the outcome of several protests that have took place in this country in the past, that the military, the police don't know who you are, whether you are in Nigeria or you are having a flag of Nigeria, it doesn't concern them, but all they want is to defend the integrity of the country. And you ask, the integrity you are defending, on what foundation was you built? Under falsehood, under propaganda, under deceit and lies, and you are laying your life on it. Even when you die at the process, the government will not recognize you, your children will be suffered, your family will suffer. And we ask, what kind of country do we have? Any kind of protest should be avoided, especially the people from the indigenous people of Biafra from the east. You should avoid it for your own life. We have protested as federal government to make sure our roads are working, hospitals are working, depots are working. There is factory in the land. Is there any factory in the southeast that owned by the federal government? The answer is no. So since we have been protesting, our federal government are killing us on the street. What else do you want to protest right now? Allow the God will to take place, because our hope right now, everybody who is putting hope in Nigeria should have everything. Because when Jonathan left office 2015, that is when Nigeria dies. What you have in Nigeria.
I won't allow you go to that extent of saying Nigeria died. Still in the same Nigeria that you said that has died. Please, when you cross the line, we'll let you off this morning, as much as you have the freedom to express yourself. But thank you so much for sharing your thoughts with us. Hello, good morning to you.
Hello, good morning, Michael.
You're welcome.
Good morning, Mary.
Good morning to you.
Yeah, according to your analysis this morning, I want to ask a question. The students of this university, are they using dollar to pay their school fees? Why is it that the district of the school is saying that dollar is so amount? Are they using dollar to pay their school fees? Are we not using naira? What is all this in Nigeria? Where are we heading to? And another thing, talking of the high cost of living in this country, those people that are going to the farm, all of them, when we went to the farm, they will chase us away. All of them are dying. Look at what is happening in Benue State. Who is remaining to go to farm again? What are we doing? So the government should help us, and we should help ourselves. Because people that own the goods, they are putting prices every day. What you buy today, go tomorrow, they will add it money. Last Saturday, I bought a rice of 5,000, a thing. But as of yesterday, they are selling it 5,005. The same rice. So the thing is, there is still too much, Michael. So they should do something.
Yes, indeed. Thank you.
Why you is the one talking?
All right. Thank you for sharing your thoughts with us. Do appreciate you for joining us. 0708 000 0918. Mary, you didn't say anything about the protest in Port Harcourt about electricity.
I was waiting for you to say something about it because it has to do with men. So
men?
yes,
the women
men. No,
protested
hold
now.
on. Their protest is because their men are not touching them at night because of it. So you'll be able to analyze to us what as a man coming from the angle of a man. Yeah. Why is it that you are not doing your conjugal obligation as a man, just from the angle of a man?
The only thing I can say about this is to share the inscriptions on their placards. The women, Rivers women, we lack romance with our husbands. Our husbands no longer touch us at night. No light, no payment. The heat is too much. PHED, help us to sleep well with our husbands. It has to do with.
So, as a man, you don't sleep well when
it has
there
to
is
do
heat.
with 𝗬𝗓.
No, I'm asking you
I
now.
am not qualified to speak about what
But
happens.
I'm qualified to speak about
in
it.
the 𝗬𝗓. So, can we move on now? Hello, good morning to you. Hello. Hello, good morning. Oh, goodness. It's not sitting well. 0708 0000918. That's the only number responding this morning. Let's have your thoughts. Hello, good morning to you. If that will not pull through, then we head straight to the socials. Don't forget that the service chiefs will appear before the Senate today on security, of course, also summoning economic team, just like they appeared in the House of Reps yesterday. It's the CBN governor, finance minister, the budget minister. Hello, good morning to you.
Good morning, Mike and Meme.
Yes,
Good
sir.
morning.
Yes, how are they now?
We did fine. We did campaign.
Thank you. There is no difference between the modus operandi of 𝗦𝗧𝗏𝗧𝗏 and Dr. Alex Odi. 𝗦𝗧𝗏𝗧𝗏 pretended to still was infrastructural development, which was a scam, and they neglected the welfare of the people. People were dying, he did not pay attention to it. How could the present governor immediately approve 13 billion to buy motor cars for themselves, which they will use? Last Sunday, the pensioners were paid something less than the half, which had already been, which is paid. Some people got 29,000 naira, some people got 28,000 naira, some people 31,000 naira. And look, Mike, I am waxing cold. Thank you so much.
Thank you for sharing your thoughts with us. 0708 0000918 or 0809 666 0943. Hello, good morning to you.
Good morning, Mike.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Chinazo.
You're welcome, Chinazo.
Yes. On the process of investigations, I don't mind. You see, the problem we have in this country is policy somersault. Now, these palliatives they are sharing. They give it to personally that's supposed to make it get to the people. It doesn't get to the people. It is in the private bank account, so it can go. Why didn't the government use it to subsidize school fees for almost for I think half everything? Private government was done that. What those billions of Yama? Okay, people are suffering and people are dying. And the truth that some of them are foreigners living with us and said they are leaders. Somebody opened his mouth and said that the Nigerians are better. That the cost of food in Nigeria is better than what they have in other separate countries. Who told him that? It's not true. They should use the problem they have in the food. Food should be tackled. So that our brethren that are farming should be able to go to their farm and farm comfortably and bring out their product. Then secondly, if you say the history of agriculture in this country, for over 30-40 years, there has been one policy and the other. If they have kept the policy, for example, this was production. I give my industry IT as also one. Okay, that is produce rice. And when we are called to raise Nigeria to share the spirit, I suggested that every state in Nigeria has the ability to produce rice. Okay? You said farm price, Mike. No. You have plain rice, you have farm rice. That's the irrigated type of rice. And that's rice you can plant like corn.
Is that the same as paddy rice?
Yes. Paddy rice is farm rice, yes. It is irrigated. But it has one you can plant, I just have to plant corn. Okay, normally on plain and you do. So
without adding so much water, because I know rice is a water thirsty crop. It takes a lot of water for it to germinate.
It is that, but that's especially you can plant like corn.
I never knew.
You give it just little water, doesn't need much water. But that this one that is planted in the swamp, you irrigate it. That one is a family that has 2 or 3 times in a year. If you are conscious as a farmer, you could be done 2-3 times in a year, and that the farmer harvest everywhere. The government knows this. All they keep is so everybody is interested in job pocket. Nobody wants to serve the people of this country. Honestly, some
from the base to the grave. Someone will start. And that's the problem happening in this country. Now I call for us to have nationalistic leaders of this country.
All right.
To have for this for people like that. That is what we are lacking. That's why check every department. Even I went to the there's no plan. You know there was a time Babangida built almost a technical every government in this country. Okay? And those projects in the 80s, that cost almost 45 billion to build. But where are those schools now? Where are the technologies? The machines are reported. Yeah, where are the machines?
All right, your time is up.
Somebody will come and ask questions.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bless you too. Thank you for sharing your thoughts with us this morning, especially the lecture on rice, saying there are some that doesn't even need as much water, like the one we plant in swampy areas. I never knew. Actually, I never knew. Anyways, thank you. 0708 000 0918. That's the only number responded this morning. Hello, good morning to you.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Mike and Mary Man.
Good morning.
How are you today?
We're good.
In fact, I'm a good listener to your program every morning. The program makes me very happy. That's why I usually love to contribute.
Thank you.
You see, this country, the leaders say they don't know what to do. They're telling us lies. It is unfortunate. The aspect that makes me feel so bad is saying that the protest is from the opposition. These people don't know what they are doing. If they don't take time, the whole country will come on the way. Because there's no time the country has so been bad. People are hungry. Nothing is working. Every day things are going high. They say they don't know what to do. You see, I would advise the people to use what Bakanda did in 1998. The whole party leader, arrest them and they bring out the whole money they looted and stick it into the system. They know where the monies are. Even the banks, they know where their monies are. I mean, it's so people don't know what to do.
All right.
Why is here in Nigeria? Let them go and bring it and put it in the system. Arrest all of them. The system will start working. Thank you very much.
Thank you for sharing your thoughts with us. 0708 000 0918. Can we still talk to Precious? Because Nigeria is playing today. I must not miss that. I will see the match. I will support Nigeria in my own corner as much as I can. What is Hello, good morning to you.
Good morning, Mr. Michael and Mary. How are you this morning?
You're welcome.
Good morning.
Pastor John.
Yeah, thank you, my brother. You see, we have talked and talked and talked, but we must keep talking, and we must apply carefulness to avoid being harmed by unknown hands. Though the government is hearing, and they understood that we are not insulting them, neither challenging them, but we are just pleading and saying maybe they know, or maybe they don't want to do the needful. In 1979, Shagari got his government power from Obasanjo, and we started shouting. We make a song in the school. We're putting our Tennessee, Oshegu Shagari, when Naira depreciated. Because Nigeria consumes, we import. We don't produce things higher than we consume. What we consume is higher than what we produce. And so Nigeria began to decay from there. Now, our highest note then was 20 Naira. When Babangida came in power, at the time, the man introduced 15 Naira. We call it better life. 1991, then we have 50 Kowe in notes, 1 Naira in notes. Today, those Naira, those money and denominations are no longer to be found anywhere. You see one thing, if you're like a football game, if your team is playing and you notice the player that is not doing well, or the coach is not doing well, you change the coach or you change the player so you can forge ahead. I want to plead with our government. If this thing cannot help them and they cannot help the thing, let us employ experts to come and help us. For people are dying. People are crying. Michael,
yes,
I have a poultry farm that produces up to 54 crates of eggs a day when Jonathan was in power. I hatch fish. I produce fish. I dry it and take to the market. Today, I have shut it down. It is empty. Nobody is there. I'm in the market.
Well, why did you shut it down?
Because of cash increase of feed. A bag of feed now is about 12,000 naira. If you, after producing and drugs and everything, you can't be able to pay your workers. And so the government frustrated it by the government of Buhari. When it came dollar, it rise from 98, 148 to something, and here we are today. So I pray and playing to the government, please. We know what to do, and I believe they know what to do. P2P was shouting. There is something to do, and we will meet up to other countries. Thank you,
Thank you. Do appreciate you. Let me add to what Pastor Uche John said there. Do you know all the candidates supported subsidy removal? So it's not a matter of subsidy should be removed or not, but it is a question of how should it be removed. Even Peter Obi said he will remove subsidy. The same article said he will remove subsidies. Tinubu also said he will remove subsidy.
But the point is, they said it, but they never said when they were going to do it. Nobody is against removing subsidy. What we are saying is there should have been plan on ground before the removal of subsidy. One, at least our refineries should have been up and running before you take that kind of decision. We are not against removing subsidy, but did you have any plans on ground? Because it was after the removal of subsidy that the issue of sending palliative to cushion the effect, that means you didn't have any plan before you started thinking of removing subsidy. I think that's what Nigerians are saying. We're not particularly against it, but we are saying you should have made better plans before going ahead with the removal of subsidy.
I wish we can talk to 𝗓𝗠𝗦𝗓𝗓 before we take comments on the Facebook page. Let's talk about Nigeria and the Super Eagles. So it's one thing that will put joy and
on
put smiles on our faces.
I'm telling you,
today.
We're going to
Hopefully
defeat the
Nigeria
banana bafana.
You said banana.
Bananas bafana.
Let me leak a secret to you. Precious doesn't believe Nigeria will win. I caught her saying it off microphone.
I know.
Hello. She's here. I think I just said. Did you hear me?
Good morning to you, Michael.
Wow, Precious and Joko, our in-house sports analyst. How are you doing this morning?
Hello.
Your background is noisy. Are you in a Zuku market?
Hello?
What's going on? Can you hear me?
Your network is bad. Hello.
It is not network. You're in the market or where? So, well, we get back to her. Let's say if we can take more calls.
But you too, you didn't believe in the boys.
We get back to that. Hello, good morning to you. Hello. Yes, sir. You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much. Michael, the truth of all these food items, costs of the food items in the market, we have solutions. So you can go to the north, you buy something in 1 million naira, use 3 million in transportation. It's too much. So government is supposed to help this to remove prices of petroleum. That is number one. And this is dollar high, number two. For us to help the government, everybody is supposed to be inside farmer. Like I said, since I married my wife, this is up to almost 10 years now. I haven't bought gari in the market before. I produce gari by myself. Some chicken by myself. I'm telling you the truth. I live at 𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓 by 𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓.
Oh, he's off. If you can call back to finalize your thoughts, please do. It's been talking about self-sufficiency in terms of some food items.
But I should start it.
One egg is 130 naira now. If you're buying two, it is 250.
It's too cheap. I thought you had gone up to 150. You're still selling 130. That's nice.
Maybe it has gone up.
The last time it was 120. That's why, and that was like last year.
Let's see. Precious, good morning to you.
Oh, good morning to you, Michael.
Yes, glad to have you join us this morning. Seems your background is noisy. Now quickly, Bafana of South Africa. Mary called them this morning banana. Facing Super Eagles of Nigeria. What do we expect? How is Victor Osimhen? That's one question that many Nigerians are asking. And what should we expect from your analysis this morning?
All right, firstly, Victor trained with the team yesterday, so Victor is in line for selection and he's in line to start against South Africa today. And secondly, it might actually be an easy game for the Super Eagles, or it might be a difficult game. The last time South Africa got to the semi-finals was in the year 2000, and Nigeria defeated them. Tijani Babangida scored the goals. So it's more like a long time South Africa got to the semi-final, so they want to make the most of it. Okay. And again, the coach of South Africa in 2017 won the Africa Cup of Nations with Cameroon, and in similar fashion with what he's doing with South Africa right now. So maybe history might just be on the part of South Africa, or maybe Nigeria just continue this fairy tale run to the finals and eventually win the trophy.
Okay, so
Precious, first of all, I heard that you don't believe in the boys, but that's okay. That's by the way. But do you think that our formation, the people that are going to start up the game for us today, do you think we have a strong formation to contend with the Bafana of South Africa? Don't want to say banana.
It's everyone else decides I don't believe in the boys because I've been supporting the boys even before the tournament started.
Okay.
So whoever that said I don't believe in the boys, it's erroneous.
Very,
very
Precious. I wish I caught you. I caught you on camera. Kingsley is my witness.
You see Kelechi Iheanacho play a part today.
Okay.
But I think we should be expecting the same 11. I think that's what we should be expecting. The same starting 11 from semi-finals or quarterfinals from Jose Pesero. But either way, it's a game that Jose Pesero has to win. Because if he wins it, it's more like it's just a step closer to winning the AFCON trophy for Nigeria.
Okay. All right.
All right. Thank you, Precious Njoku, for talking to us this morning and, of course, giving us brief analysis of the game. That game will be live on Enyimba FM at 6 p.m. today. Of course, our AFCON studio will open at 4 p.m. for pre-match analysis, and we will give you full coverage. Even if it ends at penalty, we will be here to give you the live coverage. Let's run through the comments on the Facebook page right now as we are heading towards wrapping up the show today.
Arthur Francis in the man, he says, good morning, my analysts in the studio. The federal government should endeavor to diversify her economy and revert to agriculture to address the food shortage and hunger in the land. May God help us. All right. Gabriel Latte says, good morning, Michael and Mary. Well, I think the government needs to intervene in the Moayu issue. People are very upset about the whole economic situation in Nigeria, and students and their parents are not left out as well. The recent hike in student school fees is uncalled for, and I think dialogue is the only way forward before the students start taking laws into their hands. Comrade Elijah says, good morning, guys. I must commend the state governor for coming out to correct an error. Or does it mean the opposition came hard on them? Then, on the issue of double taxation and touting, yes, I acknowledge that we must pay our taxes, but there is need to give these guys orientation. Or alternatively, they should be employed because these guys were going home with large sum of money on daily basis during the last administration. To stop them work now, make I no talk. Roland Alosie says 1.5 billion naira for 2 hillocks, which the governor called software error, was not detached by the Right Honorable Emmanuel Emerowa led 8 Abba State House of Assembly. Indeed, they did a thorough job before passing the budget into law. Banigo Odim says the protest by Moai students was totally avoidable had this VC allowed the students to write their exams, knowing that during their clearance they will still clear the debt. Chinoso Felix says, good morning, Michael, Uni, and Mary May. I'm Engineer Joey from Asa 𝗓𝗦𝗦𝗧. President Tinubu came back from France. Intervention to check food shortage. Let him free Mass and Nnamdi Kanu. Chibuzo Solomon says, good morning, Mike and Mary. I'm testing from Owuraba. APC accusing opposition of instigating mass protests is so laughable, I must say, because even if one can't see, he can hear. And if he can't hear, he can feel it. So at this time, throwing blame at some people won't do us any good because hunger is everywhere in the land. Federal government and APC should up their games and tackle this hunger to avoid something else. Chinedu Mukafa says federal government must ensure that hunger and poverty is reduced by every possible means. In fact, the economy, insecurity, and corruption should be placed on emergency watch list. The cost of living in Nigeria has become very high. Of course, Nigerians must not continue to suffer in the midst of plenty. The protest in Moayu shows the insensitivity of the school management on the increment of the school fees at this point of severe economic hardship. Ifeanyi Excel Nwachukwu says the Rivers women that are complaining that their husbands don't touch them at night because of heat due to because of NEPA's inability to give light is very funny, though their complaint is valid because it's something that has to do with electricity that affects everybody. But I must add this: man, way something they hungry doesn't need light to satisfy himself. Maybe they think never they hungry am. As for APC accusing the opposition for instigating protests in Nigeria, I really find it laughable. The fact remains that APC has failed Nigerians, beginning from Buhari's tenure to Tinubu administration. They haven't seen anything yet. Nwachukwu Kennedy Chinedu says, good morning, everyone in the studio. It is no longer news that Alex Chioma remains the liberator and messiah of our time, of us. He really came to reposition, rebuild, sanitize, and to move Abia to an enviable height compared to PDP 24 wasteful years. Indeed, Abia will certainly be great again under Oti's watch. More winnings and powers to their elbows. Tempoli Umeda says, good morning, guys. It's a prayer answer for Abia State, especially in Aba, a governor that listens to the voices of the people, a man that goes to see things for himself. Governor Alex Oti is doing a good work. As for the federal government led by Jagaban with their grammar, God passed them. Thank God Chinenye Memana says the government should assist farmers with seedlings and financial support because it will encourage them to produce food for the country. Ibe Bulamchi remains says the sovereign in the land is palpable, so accusing the opposition of instigating mass protests is too lame and vexatious. Osinachu says, good morning, Michael, Oni, and Mary. I want to ask, why would the VC chase the student out from the examination hall, notwithstanding the current economic situation of Nigeria? Perhaps I think there is a high institution. I think they're in high institution. I think they're in high institution. Students come back to do clearance. The VC could have left them. When they come for clearance, they would definitely clear their debts. Chinwenwa Okeke says, good morning, Enyimba FM. APC should stop all these their excuses and tackle the hunger in the land. We are dying. Paul Oka says, good morning, Mr. Mike and Mary. How can President remove subsidy in oil and still remove subsidy in education? Why? What is Mr. President doing with Nigeria's money? It's like Tinubu is here to okay, all right, let's move on. Talented Benjamin says, Auntie Mary, good morning. Oga Mike, how was your night? My thought this morning, as at now, I'm tired of discussing Nigerian issues. I'm having headache of complaining. Mr. Tinubu, if you don't know what to do as father of our country, let him live and see us die in hunger. But me, I can never die because of hunger. Subsidy removal is killing us. Petrol is 780, gas is 100 and is 1,100 now. I used to say she bought 1,300 yesterday anyway. And to our amiable governor, I pray God to strengthen him in all his good works and beyond. Since I came to Aba, this is the best governor I have seen yet. He promised us steady power in Aba. I pray this promise will come to pass. Let me stop here for others to comment. Francis Ewong says, good morning, Michael and Mary. The protest by Rivers women is something of great concern. If the temperature of a room is not conducive, the simple pendulum motion of to me, to you cannot be satisfactorily achieved. So light is necessary for that action. Ulu Hazel says, good morning, Enyimba FM. Food scarcity is getting out of hand. You people are talking about rice. A bag of beans is 100K plus without logistics. Wow. Bag of Nigerian foreign rice is sold at 57K plus in the north. Crops didn't do well in most parts of the country, and some communities don't go to their farms again. John Uchi says, it's quite unfortunate, as the unfortunate incident of Mayu is quite personal because it's my alma mater. As regards your question, Mary, normally students are not allowed to write exams if they have not paid their fees, but they are usually given a window period of before the exam starts. I pray this issue is resolved because both parties really have their genuine reasons. The university is struggling because of the harsh economy, and also students struggling because of the economic decadence. Kalinet says, I think Governor Oti is making too much promises. Hope he will be able to fulfill them. He talked about rebuilding Ohanko and Oboha roads. Up until now, these roads have not been flagged up for work to commence here, and he's making more promises. The VC of Umudike should look into the complaints of the students, even if it means allowing them take the exams while they pay when they come for clearance. Emmanuel Ekbo says, good morning, Inimba FM. The president has finally returned to Nigeria after a long absence from Aso Rock. He has to explain to us his purpose of traveling to France and how his visit to France is of benefit to Nigerians. If the president really carried Nigerians at heart, he's supposed to have addressed Nigerians in the national TV on what he would do instantly to ameliorate the distress situation Nigerians are going through. I don't like the situation. His spokesperson always address critical issues on behalf of the president. And Joe Prosper says, good morning, Michael, Uni, and Mary. APA is really suffering about people where I think you have to bring this issue on Friday, open mic edition. Kingdom My Teacher Chiking says, good morning, my favorite presenters, Mike and Mary May. Please, I want to ask those Rivers women that protested blackouts, why should their husband not touch them at night be the reason for their protest? Why there are many reasonable reasons why they should protest against blackouts. I advise the women to reduce their curiosity and hunger over the touchings of their husbands. No economy is suited because men have many reasons, many serious things facing them now than night touching. Zoe Ozuchi says, Oga Mike and Co, good morning. Amuchi Sahako from Morata Timber Market Aba. Mike, you see, our husbands no longer touch us because of no light. You see, soon now divorce will fool everywhere because touching at night is no more. Oga Mike, what is your take on this?
I don't have a take. I'm tickless. If I can put it that way.
Ugais Nwaka says, I hope the PDP goons won't come out to tell us that Umule was already 40% constructed before Oti decided to rehabilitate it. Good one by Abia government. John, okay, I think we're taking a message. Kingsley Uche Chukwu says, it's quite commendable the Abia State governor has come out to clear the issue surrounding the 1.5 billion naira budget for Hilux.
All right.
It is worrisome that while this news was unconfirmed, uninformed Abians were busy defending this indefensible. Even if it was the situation, it is high time the masses go beyond their love for a politician to calling him or her to order when necessary.
All right, those are the messages we can take. We decided to extend the time so that we can take as many messages as possible since we have just one line responding and the WhatsApp platform is down. But tomorrow you will be able to watch us on our Facebook page. So join us so that we can have a robust conversation and we can have more comments from you and reactions from you. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. The program returns tomorrow. DJ Spicy Clef is standing by to take over and of course serenade you with good music. I think he said today is about Amapiano. He's going to do Amapiano today. So you enjoy.
Why is he doing Amapiano when we are playing with Bafana of South Africa? I don't understand. Why are we doing Amapiano? Does he know what is at stake here?
Ask him.
I don't like the fact that we are doing Amapiano.
My name is Michael Oni.
And I am Mary. Here, Jerica. Enjoy the rest of your day.
This is where news comes first.
Sports.